Let's move our focus and look at the latest financial news driving the Nigerian fixed income space. And for that, we're joined by Kizito Odunze. He is in bond sales at Dunn Loren Merrifield. Kizito, it's great to have you on the show. I'd like to start by getting your thoughts on Amcon's bond refinancing plans.
Okay, Didi, thanks for having me, first of all. As we all know, there's a tranche of Amcon bonds that fall due December this year, over $1 trillion of that. And when they fall due, the Amcon is expected to pay back these funds. Now, there are two options. There is the option of paying back and the option of rolling over or refinancing. Now, whatever Amcon decides is conjecture from our point of view here, but we believe that if Amcon redeems as is expected, there will be a flood of excess liquidity in the system, and we expect that to find its way trickle into other markets as well.
So what can you expect to see happen to bond yields as a result?
Now, as I said, if Amcon redeems the bonds and pays back, that's a huge amount of capital will definitely find its way into the bond market and T-bill market, and we should see a suppression of yields quite significantly.
Now let's talk through expectations for OMO and Treasury bill auctions and maturities this week.
For this week, we expect the CBN to auction about 123 billion worth of treasuries. Incidentally, there is also an exact amount worth of treasuries that mature, and another 257 billion worth of OMO bills that mature within this week. Now, we expect also that because of the trend of liquidity tightening by the CBN, we expect that this excess liquidity by way of the 257 billion worth of OMO bills maturing to be carted out of the system by way of OMO bills. What makes it interesting is the MPC meetings this week. So we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out after the MPC results are released on Tuesday.
Okay, now, I mean, of course, you mentioned the MPC meeting, and of course, lots of traders anticipating that. Now, it would be great to get your expectations for that meeting.
There's a widely held view that status quo will be maintained. And as such, we've even noticed in the markets that traders are being somewhat cautious. Nobody knows for sure what direction the CBN, the Monetary Policy Committee, will take. But as I said, a widely held view is that the monetary policy rate will be maintained, and other indicators or other tools used to manage monetary policy would maintain status quo. Now, in the markets, we've noticed that the bond market yields sort of inched a little bit higher because traders seem to want to move away from their bond positions and go for maybe shorter maturities, which are safer. And the results or the treasury market, the treasury bills market actually buttressed this point, because majority of the 36 of the 37 maturities in the T-bill market, the yields actually dropped. So one can assume that traders are actually shifting to safer instruments. Those are the short-dated instruments that are less exposed to interest rate risk.
But has the April inflation print had any impact on the fixed income space so far?
The impact was muted. It was not significant, because even the move in inflation in the bond market, T-bill market as well, the markets traded as if nothing much happened.
And I mean, a lot of analysts saying that some of those numbers are already priced in. So, of course, we're talking about the MPR and the inflation print. Is that a view that you share?
As regards being priced in, not necessarily, because in as much as people expect, the market expects yields, monetary policy rates to be maintained, traders still have to do the cautious thing of getting out of risky positions and holding less risky instruments. And that's been what's happening. So it's one thing to be confident that monetary policy rate will be maintained. It's another thing to actually leave yourself exposed to it. So in as much as the market generally believes there will be no change, most traders are still being cautious and shifting to less risky instruments.
And of course, it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens when those numbers come through. Kizito, let's leave it there. That's Kizito Odunze from Dunn Loren Merrifield.